We had a good conversation at the hall last week, and talked about a lot of things going on in the college. I guess my question is, why are you here?
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, the name has been changed. That's a fact. In statute, there is still language that reflects to the Institute as a college, and that needs to be changed. And that is the essence, in effect, of the legislation, is to track everything in order so that any reference made to Northern University is accurate and correct, including embedded in statutory reference.
And Senator Ivey-Soto, I appreciate that answer, but the problem is that, I mean, it seems rather contemptuous of the college, the University of Northern New Mexico, to have acted in the way that they have. And when I say it seems rather contemptuous, is that our Constitution in Article 12, Section 11, clearly lays out the names of our state institutions, and it makes sure that we know what the names of our institutions used to be, and so when it gets to this, so this is right after. It references the New Mexico School for the Deaf at Santa Fe, formerly known as the New Mexico Asylum for the Deaf and Dumb. We leave that historical language in there. It's offensive. People know what institution it is and what institution it was. And it goes on to say the Northern New Mexico State School at El Rito, formerly known as the Spanish American School. So in our Constitution, we have the name of the school. Now, that is a section that was last amended in 2004. This is amendable. Now, in addition to this, there's the shortcut that this institution has taken. Instead of amending the Constitution, where it clearly says the Northern New Mexico State School at El Rito, formerly known as Spanish American School, then you have the statute that says, except for financial transactions, the use of the name Northern New Mexico College is hereby permitted in lieu of Northern New Mexico State School. I guess you don't want to use state school, you don't want to amend the Constitution, you're just going to do it by statute instead of doing it by the Constitution. But now you've ignored both. You've ignored the Constitution and you've ignored the statute. And you've just simply said, we're going to do it on our own. And when I say you're just going to do it on your own, we have a letter here, dated today, Dr. Pedro L. Martinez, Provost, Northern New Mexico University. This is from the Higher Learning Commission. The Higher Learning Commission currently has 27 member institutions that are universities, and offer them, please see below the list, and listed in here is Northern New Mexico University. So you already have this here. The change for common convenience college name, summary and facts that you passed out to us, conveniently already has your logo of Northern New Mexico University on it. And when I go to your website tells me, welcome to Northern New Mexico University. So you're ignoring the Constitution, you're ignoring the statute, you're just proceeding on your own without us. My question is, why are you here?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Ivey-Soto, we're not changing the legal name, and that's why the exception for except for legal transactions. So we're not changing the legal name of the institution, which would require a constitutional amendment. Now, my understanding in 2004, the statute that was drafted and changed followed the statute for Eastern New Mexico University back in the 60s, when Eastern New Mexico University changed its name to Eastern New Mexico University. That was the precedence, if you will, for the statutory change for Northern New Mexico College in 2004 from a community college to a college. So we're not really trying to write history and how we're going about doing this, but we followed the process in 2004 that was taken when Eastern New Mexico became a university. They simply did a common convenience change statute as well. Like with Northern, they too did not change their constitutional name, otherwise their legal name. So what we've essentially done is kind of replicate what's been done historically to eliminate a formal legal and thereby constitutional amendment, but simply a reference to the name adopted by the Board of Regents. Just like you stated with New Mexico School for the Deaf, they too have not changed their legal name as it's referred to in the Constitution, but there's that common name reference. So I hope that answers your question.
With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, Senator Cisneros and Vice President, it doesn't. Because in fact, the School for the Deaf did change the name of the Constitution. They are not legally known as that. And just like at one point, we did change your name in the Constitution, you were at one point the Spanish American Institute in the Constitution. We changed your name in the Constitution to the Northern New Mexico State School. So we're capable of changing your name in the Constitution. You acknowledge that?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Ivey-Soto, my belief, and I may be incorrect, but it was written into the Constitution as state school. It was before, keep in mind that the institution predates the state of New Mexico. So when the state established itself as a state and the Constitution was established, it was established as the state school. Prior to the establishment of the state of New Mexico and its Constitution, it was the Spanish, I can't remember the name you referenced, but so, well, it was before it was established in the Constitution. Again, I'm almost pretty sure it was never changed once it was established in the Constitution. Thereby, the constitutional amendment was never made. It was established prior to the state's Constitution, and then its original name still exists in the Constitution, the state school.
Mr. Chairman, and Senator and Mr. Vice President, you need to know the name of your school. You need to know the name of your school because I will tell you, the name of your school that predates statehood was the Spanish American Institute at El Rito.
Spanish American Normal School, that's correct.
No, it was not the Spanish American Normal School. This was not, according to the Constitution that I'm looking at, okay, is that it was known as the Spanish American School. There were others that were normal schools. This is, so I mean, if you want to change the name, it'd be nice if you knew what the name was. Second of all, you know, the Constitution, though, also makes it very clear, though, that your name used to be the Spanish American School, and it was changed to Northern New Mexico State School. So we're capable of changing the name of the Constitution. I know this because I'm reading it. We're capable of changing the name. And I will keep reading it to you if you need me to so that you understand that we're capable of doing this. But the thing is, I understand, but well, the problem is he's suggesting that their action of ignoring the Constitution and thus ignoring also then now the statutes and putting the cart before the horse is somehow justified. In other words, if you would have come to us and said, we have a recommendation from our Board of Regents, we'd like to change the statute, I think I'd be totally on board. Because we had that conversation. We want to change your name, was the conversation we had. But what you've done here is to frankly disrespect the fact that it's in the statute. It's contemptuous of the university, and I mean of the legislature, in terms of what you've done. Because you said, we don't matter in this process. We're the afterthought. That's a problem. Okay? Process matters. Process matters. And so that's, you know, for you guys to come in and ignore the fact that the Constitution calls you one thing, ignore the fact that the statute permits you